that he's running away from something that could be coming down the pike that he's embarrassed about.
Yeah.
Could be coming true.
Okay.
Or it could be some other thing that I just found in Newsweek that could be the reason. We'll see.
All right, very good. You'll keep us.
It might not be any of them.
Okay. All right. So we've got A, B, and C.
Typical Delgado story.
Yeah.
A, B, and C are way out. Okay.
Right.
So we'll see which one it is. Very good. David Zier's here. David Zier, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. It's great
You're welcome.
to see everybody.
How was your day?
My day was good. Dealing on the job site, construction issues, New York bureaucracy. What else?
Sounds like a real blast.
Yeah. So,
Sounds like a great day.
That's a good time.
It's tough to do business in New York, and it's expensive. And, Carrie Jean-Pierre saying that inflation and food prices are down, but I think I paid $5 a pound for grapes yesterday. I got some stuff on that, and we have like a Mariel boat lift and another Haiti Clinton-style boat lift coming to the United States.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Another 750,000 Palestinians, courtesy of our new Navy port. But other than that, we're doing great. But it's great to be here, and hello, everybody in the audience.
And we're resided to the fact that in the State Department briefing room now, we're getting these four-star generals who are going in and saying basically, well, we certainly hope that Hamas wouldn't open fire on our guys. Is that what I heard today? Like, what?
It's nice to want things.
Yeah, it's definitely a security risk and putting our guys in harm's way. Did you see one of those airdrops crushed 5 people, I think?
I did see that 5 people were killed. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I did see that.
They should probably try not to catch them.
Yes. So there's going to be a big run on barbecue sauce in Florida soon when these Haitian gangs start coming over.
So what is the deal with this? So basically, this cannibal leader dude they've just taken over Haiti. They basically just said, now we're in charge.
They want a piece of the pie.
Kind of like the guy who had the captain, but now I'm the captain now.
Yeah.
One of those deals.
Yep.
Yeah, ever since the Clinton Foundation. Well, Haiti's always been a mess, but everything back to Baby Doc and everything, right? But they want a say in the government. And by the way, 2 cannibals around the fire, Rick. And one said, I never liked my mother-in-law. And the other one said, that's okay, just eat the noodles.
There you go.
He was setting that one up.
I know, from a mile. He was setting that one up.
Like I said yesterday.
That one up from Haiti.
10,000 comedians out of work, and I get stuck with these guys. So, all right, very good. A couple of housekeeping things here. Our friend Matt Margolis from PJ Media, friend of the show, has got an article out today, and it's entitled LOL. I love when things start with LOL. No bump for Biden from the State of the Union, which, well, I mean, how can you be surprised? I'd say there's probably no bump for the RNC out of their reply either, but that would just be my guess. He says Democrats were counting on Joe Biden's State of the Union address to give him a bump in the polls. I don't know about that. What do you think about that whole premise?
You know what? They were trying to spin it like crazy. Yes, we always see a bump. He gave a fire. That's why they were out there the next day. Oh, it was a fiery speech. He was on fire. We had the hot mic moment where, what's his name? Turd Pants came waddling over saying, nobody's talking about your cognitive issues now.
Turd Pants?
Yeah, whatever his name is.
Jerry Nadler?
Jerry Nadler, yeah. Turd Pants.
When did he do that? I didn't see that.
You didn't see that?
No.
No, he was when they were glad handing on the floor after the speech.
I knew the Netanyahu live mic thing.
There was that one, but there was also another one where they were talking about, that was very fire. You came out swinging today. You were on fire, he said.
Yeah, Danny
just like
Deutsch.
His pants.
The Dems are, and the lib media is they're having a fit. They are so scared of Trump, that they are it's just like lie after lie after lie. Danny Deutsch today is,
Yeah, well, we played Scarborough yesterday. That lie.
Because they knew Biden didn't get a bump from the speech, you know, so they're all panicking.
Matt Margolis says Americans on both sides of the aisle have been expressing concerns over Joe Biden's advanced age and cognitive decline. Speaking of that, Crazy Town coming up at 9:30 tonight, another one. The devastating Her report, which found that Joe Biden willfully retained, mishandled, and disclosed classified information, but is essentially too senile to stand trial, did him no favors either, according to Mr. Margolis. He said last month Axios explained exactly what was riding on Biden's speech. According to Axios, Biden officials see next month's State of the Union address as the big public reset moment. That's what Axios thought about this going in. A chance to overcome or at least neutralize concerns about Biden's age and vitality. USA Today described it as a chance to reset his presidential campaign against Donald Trump. NPR said it gave him the opportunity and a big television audience to try to put to rest lingering questions from voters about whether he has what it takes to serve another 4 years in the highest office in the land. Naturally, the media did everything they could to give the impression that Biden's State of the Union was a roaring success, emphasis on the roaring, though they all forgot to put their unique spin on the White House talking points. There are endless examples of the media outlets describing this speech as fiery. So it's quite clear there was a lot riding on the State of the Union, according to the Democrats and their media, and they should be panicking now because the new polling out shows that the speech got him no bump at all. The new Yahoo News YouGov poll, in a survey released Tuesday, the president's approval rating had fallen to 39%. Also ahead of the State of the Union, former President Trump and Biden were statistically tied in a head-to-head 24 matchup at 45 to 44%, respectively. In Tuesday's poll, they're statistically tied with Trump up 1 to 46, Biden still won at 44. Other polls show the president failed to move the needle following his address to Congress. 538's calculation of Biden's approval rating showed him with just a little more than 37% on Tuesday. On March 6th, the day before the State of the Union, he'd had just under 38%, so he went down in there. Biden's fiery performance, which is widely believed to have been due to medication, didn't change voters' attitudes about his fitness for office either. Fewer than 30% of respondents said that Biden was fit for a second term, essentially unchanged from the previous poll. Over 50% of participants also described the president as mostly passive in his role, down slightly from 54% in the prior survey. So, I mean, you can't be surprised by any of this that he didn't move the needle off of that disaster.
No, exactly. And I think from the same article, I remember seeing it was like 17% who watched it said, well, he's not as old as we thought he was. Not as old as they expected him to look, which is what? Like he's standing upright? Yeah. It's like, wow. So, and again, that goes back to
rigor mortis hadn't sit in. I mean, what does that mean?
That I guess they were expecting him to look like super frailly old, like almost having to climb out of a freaking coffin to make this speech. But it goes back to what we said that night. The bar is so low for Joe Biden that the Democrats, if he just shows up and doesn't self-destruct, oh my goodness, it was the best speech since JFK. It's going to go down in the annals of history. The annals of history, sorry.
Yeah, you had that right the first time.
Yeah, I had that right the first time.
Yeah.
And, that's why they came out going crazy, because they're like, oh my God, he made it. He made it. He just had to finish. And that should be a terrible bar for a sitting president. Hey, just finish the speech.
It was the same in his last debate against Trump in the last election. He went started bashing the fracking industry and everything, but he made it through.
He made it through.
You think they're going to debate this time around?
No.
We can only hope.
If it gets that far, yes.
He'll be replaced by then. Come on.
Oh, that's right. You guys think he's going to be. What am I saying?
After the
forgot who I'm talking to.
The RNC and the DNC, the big shindigs they put on. What are they called again, David? You know those words.
Conventions.
There you go.
Conventional wisdom.
That's right. I forgot. You guys think he's out. So
yeah.
Now,
he's a placeholder.
One of the other things I noticed today is, and I just happened to see this all in the Federalist, and it caught my attention because I know the RNC is going under new regime change, and it's going to take a little time or whatever. But as I look through the headlines in some of these websites as I go to see what's going on in the news, here's 3 headlines today at the Federalist. Michigan has more registered voters than eligible citizens in 53 counties.
I saw that one.
Here's another one right next to it. Wisconsin's left-leaning Supreme Court could bring back illegal widespread ballot drop boxes. Here's another one. Milwaukee set to accept $800,000 from a cryptic elections group with Democratic dark money ties. So do you know what I don't see in any of these headlines? I don't see anything that says Republicans file lawsuit for this. Republicans on the move for this. Republicans question this. What are we doing? Because these are three headlines that lead me to think this is exactly 2020 all over again.
Did you say Michigan? Because there's something going on there again.
I said Michigan has more registered voters than eligible citizens in 53 counties.
And in Georgia, Sally Grubbs, the leader down there, says, county leader, I think, says there's more registered voters than citizens in her district.
But where
that's how you get 110% showing up.
Where is the RNC?
Well, up until now, they didn't have a competent leader who wasn't corrupt.
I mean, Mark Elias is on the move once again. I don't know if anyone's noticed it. I know I keep talking about it.
Yep.
Keep raising the red flag like, hello, it's time to pay attention. I'm doing it for like a year now, I feel like. And I see these headlines, and I never see headlines on the opposite side. I only see DNC, Democratic Party, Mark Elias. I don't see anything for the RNC whatsoever. Nothing.
Well, the RNC is suing Secretary of State Benson in Michigan for voter rolls.
Well, there you go. There's a start.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday. Lots of sports, news, crazy town, all kinds of good things coming up when we get back right after this. All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. Slick Rick's going to do some sports. Rick Delgado's going to do the news. David Zier sitting in is going to do the news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Make sure you follow us on all our social media. We're streaming tonight over on Facebook and YouTube at LFS6B. Instagram, LFS6B Show, and, of course, live from Studio6B.com, where you can sign up to become a member absolutely free. We're going to do some promotions next month. We're going to give away some free gift cards to My Pillow starting in April. So that'll be exciting. So we'll do that, and then you're going to have to be signed up at Live from Studio 6B to enter in to get those. So make sure you do that. We'll give you more details on that as we get closer to April. But speaking of My Pillow, let's do sports right now, and they're sponsored by My Pillow. Our code LFS6B is the code to use at checkout. It's the only one that'll get you a free T-shirt. I showed it last night. Trump, America. What is it? Trump. I don't know. Trump take America back. 2024.
Make America a car cover again.
Yeah, it's right there. So you get that absolutely free if you use our code.
He's fabricating it
over at My Pillow. What's going on, Slick?
All right, Big D, let's get right into it. NCAA men's basketball, just less than 4 days away to Selection Sunday, right? It's Wednesday night. Within 4 days, we're going to know who's going to be in the tournament, and we can't wait, right? March Madness filled with gladness. NCAA, here we go. Colgate right now blowing out Lehigh, 56-29, 16 to go there in the second half. We got Texas right now over Kansas State, 39-36. That is the Phillips 66 Big 12 championship, second round. Syracuse right now trailing NC State, 46-39, 15 to go there in the second half as well. A couple of finals in from earlier tonight. Florida State, the Seminoles, top Virginia Tech, 86-79. And BYU over UCF, 87-73. TCU tops Oklahoma, 77-70. And McNeese over Nichols, 92-76. Good game coming up a little later. Kansas and Cincinnati. That's a 9:30 p.m. tip-off. And Boston College and Clemson also at 9:30. So we'll give you an update on those games a little bit later tonight. Skipping over, let's go over to the NBA. A couple of games in action tonight. Right now, Cavs and Pelicans just underway. Cavs on top 13-12 by 1. Heat right now trail the Nuggets at 35-28. And Raptors over the Pistons 59-52. Looking for some NHL action. Don't see anything going on tonight, but I'll check up on that later. Let's get to the rodeo, Big D. And what we got going on? Rodeo Houston, NRG Stadium. It's going to roll right through Sunday. They were going right into the 17th, St. Patty's Day, and we're right now in Super Series 5, all the way in the third round, and we have bareback riding. Richard Champion, 83.5 points, $3,000 there. A good name there. I like that one. Steer Wrestling, also third round. We have Cameron Mormon, 4.8 seconds, tied with Travis Monroe and Tyler Pearson. We also have, Saddle Bronc, third round. Let's go. We have another tie. Isaac Diaz on Calgary Stampedes, Yuppie Bubbles, and Brody Wells on Survey Championship Rodeo's Risky Business. That was a good movie, 83.5 points there. And we have Barrel Racing, Haley Gibson, 14.73 tenths. Good time there. And let's see, Bull Riding, third round. Coy Palmier, 85.5 points on Generations Rodeo's Warpath. Total payout on this rodeo, again, $1,936,000. Big one there. Let's get to Breitbart Sports. And, listen to this guy here. Former Jaguars employee who stole $22 million from the team gets 6 years in prison. Warner Todd Houston of Breitbart, the former Jaguars office employee who was convicted of stealing more than $22 million from the team, has been handed a prison sentence of more than 6 years. Amit Patel, 31, was sentenced to 6 years and 6 months in a federal prison by U.S. District Judge Henry L. Adams for spending money at gambling outlets by using a team credit card program between September of 2019 and February of 2023. Fox News reports. Great accounting team you have there, Jacksonville. Wow, 4 years you missed all that. Man, oh man, that must be some credit limit on that credit card. Amit Patel knowingly and wittingly created a deceptive scheme to fund a lavish lifestyle at his employer's expense, and today's sentence is a warning to other scam artists. The FBI and our partners will continue to aggressively pursue corporate fraud investigators to protect consumers from bearing the costs associated with criminal activity. Mark Dargis, acting special agent in charge of the FBA Jacksonville division, said in a statement on Tuesday. Patel spent most of these millions on sports gambling and became notorious for the time period as one of the least winning gamblers in the sports gambling sector. He lost so much to the online betting concern FanDuel that the Jaguars went to the site and asked for the money back. Wow, that's pretty bad better. So he must have been not tuning into odds makers, Big D, that's for sure. But, well, no wonder why the Jaguars had an abysmal season there in the end. But we'll see. Trevor Lawrence might have to borrow that credit card, see if he can get some of his money back as well. That's a wrap in sports, Big D. Back to you.
Well, you ain't kidding. If you paid attention to us, you would have. What were you, like 20 games over?
Yeah, it was about 19 or 20 over.
Against the
You're right.
spread, no less.
See, we could have helped that young man down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was doing a bad thing, so he got nailed.
Exactly. So, all right, Slick. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Use our code LFS6B if you shop at MyPillow at all this month. Make sure you send us your receipt to LFS6B@yahoo.com. And we'll get you out the shirt of the month. All you got to do is give us your size. Let's do the news. News is brought to you by 7Cells, 7Cells.com. Same thing. LFS6B is the code at checkout. 20% off what you put in your cart. What's going on, Rick Delgado?
All right. Well, I guess the big story came out this morning as a Georgia judge from Fulton County overseeing the 2020 election case dismisses some of the charges against former President Trump. The Fulton County judge overseeing the Georgia 2020 election case against former President Donald Trump earlier today dismissed 6 charges that were listed. Fulton County Superior Court Judge McAfee listed in the indictment said these 3 of those charges must be squashed, including including 3 counts against Trump per court documents. Trump has pleaded not guilty to all charges in the case, and as written, these 6 counts contain all the essential elements of the crime but fail to allege sufficient detail regarding the nature of their commission, i.e. the underlying felony solicited. McAfee wrote in his decision, Trump and other 18 others who were charged with these 41 counts related to the alleged scheme to overturn the 2020 election in the favor of the former president. He was charged on 13 counts, so most of the charges, 7 are going to remain intact, while 6 get pushed out, and 3 of them are altogether quashed. As a matter of fact, MSNBC even decided they wanted to weigh in on this, as Thin Fanny reported on Thick Fanny. Here, check this out, cut number 6.
What is happening is that Judge Scott McAfee is dismissing several of the charges here in Georgia against former President Donald Trump. 6 of the charges in this order. The charges so far, and I'm still making my way through the judge's ruling right now, but appear to do with solicitation of violation of oath by a public officer. Those were certainly some of the charges that he was facing. Other people that were named, of course, Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, Johnny Eastman, Mark Meadows. And so this is certainly notable because the former president was facing a number of charges, but to have 6 of them removed is notable. Now, it's important to note he's still facing charges here in Georgia, still facing charges in Fulton County. We're also still waiting on a major decision from Judge Scott McAfee as to whether or not Fani Willis can continue to remain prosecutor on this case. This is not that decision. So to see this decision from the judge to come out this morning is a bit of a surprise. I've reached out to Trump's Georgia attorney here, Steve Sadow, who, of course, has been representing him as the lead attorney, to see if he has any comment. We've also reached out to the DA's office to see if they have any feedback or plan to push back on this ruling by the judge.
So there you have it, the ruling from today. And if you want my take, I feel like this is the judge's way of clearing the way to keep her as the lead prosecutor in the case. I feel like this gives him latitude. Like, look, I pulled some of this away because I didn't think this was good, but it's okay that she sticks around.
You know, Rick, but it blows out. It blows out the Raffensperger thing that started this whole thing. That phone call is really what started this whole thing. Trump is guilty and all this
We'll discuss this more when we get back live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. Back right after this. If you're watching us on Facebook, YouTube, Kick, or any of our social media, stay with us. We're going to hang with you during the commercial. A lot of people in the chat saying hello.
Hello.
Make sure you like and share whatever platform you're on. If you're on Facebook or on YouTube, make sure you like and share, like and share, like and share. If you can, the more you like and share, it helps it get out. More people get to see it on their timeline. So please, if you can, do that. Veronica's in there. Hello. Sue, Amy,
Veronica.
Kathy, Dwayne.
Elvis Costello.
Elvis Costello, baby. It's a great song.
Kathy says, I understand that you guys may be getting M. Obama for president. What could go wrong? Well, that's these three think that. Don't talk to me about that.
That's it. Oprah's going to be out stumping for her.
Don't talk to my team, which only consists of me and John Solomon.
Oh, yeah.
Go with Slick Rick and Rick UFO Delgado. That's a good idea.
Hey, John Solomon texted me again. He said, look, don't tell Damon.
Just the hosts.
Yeah, sure he did.
He did. He's a nice guy.
He texts Delgado the whole show.
Let me see the text.
Yeah. I'm on social media now. Yeah. I'll show it to you later.
Oh, we'll talk to the audience then since you're on social media.
All right.
Go ahead.
I am. Hey, audience.
Hi, audience.
I'm on social media.
So we live streaming on what social media apps right now?
Facebook, YouTube, and Kick.
Oh, do I? What's Kick?
Kick.com.
Yeah.
Kick. Keep ice clean.
It's mostly gamers, but it's another good streaming platform. Right. We have an LFS6B show page there.
I just signed on to Getter. So.
Is that different from Outkick?
Well, Getter, we're on Real America's Voice stuff. We're not on our own stuff.
No, I know that.
That's different from Outkick. That's Clay Travis's deal.
Outkick? We're not on Outkick.
You know, Paul Nolan's New
Outkick?
World Sausage in the Get It Chat. Slick, we need nightly pictures of that fridge. I'll show you a picture. Ready? There it is. Zero.
That's a vicious.
Big D's got zero. Well, we got a creamer in there that I bought about 3 months ago.
I've got some leftover salsa in there if you want to look at it.
Don't tell me those. Oh,
Delgado's got nachos in there.
Those aren't my nachos. Those are your nachos.
Man, oh man, they're full
ain't
of
eating
mold. They're good for
there we are.
St.
Still
Patrick's
there?
Day nachos.
Delgado's keeping them from when Michelle Obama takes over. He's going to party that night with them.
St. Patrick's Day nachos.
I'm keeping them for when the illegals arrive. I can distract them with nachos. Here, take this. And I can run the other direction.
Here, take this.
Not your best.
Yeah,
not your best line of defense, Delgado.
not your best idea.
What, are you kidding me? I am a super genius.
Yep. All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. Slick Rick's going to do some more sports a little later, but right now we're going to do some news with Rick Delgado and with David Zier. We'll go back to Mr. Delgado. News is brought to you by 7Cells, 7cells.com. Our code LFS6B will save you 20% at checkout. Great stuff for your health, your skin, skincare, healthcare. Great stuff at 7Cells.com. Check them out. What else is going on in the news, Delgado?
Well, you remember yesterday's story about Ken Buck with the surprise announcement that he was going to be leaving Congress.
Yeah.
When is he set to leave? I think next week.
The 22nd.
Next week.
Yeah, next week. So, which was interesting because it kind of came out of nowhere. People were expecting it maybe later in the year, maybe after the election. But he decided, well, I'm going to leave now, which of course sparked my theory brain to go, wait, what is he running away from? What's coming down the pike? What is he afraid that might be coming out about him that might affect him? Well, we're not sure, so we'll have to see. But it did lead to these two, and I'm not saying my theory, but there's two ponderous articles coming out from Newsweek. Ponderous.
Sure.
About Ken Buck. This one, which is the headline is enough to grab your attention, came out at 3:20 a.m. this morning. Ken Buck teases more Republican resignations are coming.
That's correct. That's what Dan Bongino talked about today. He said, played a clip or some news reporter who said, yeah, I don't think it's me they should worry about. I think it's the next three retirees they should worry about.
According to this article, when asked by Axios whether he was coming under pressure from colleagues over his decision to resign, Buck replied, I think it's the next three people that leave that they're going to be worried about. Buck's move, of course, is going to reduce the number of House Republicans to 218.
Three more leave. We have Speaker Jeffries.
Yeah. At a time when Mike Johnson is already struggling to impose his authority over the chamber.
Republicans, great job.
once widely seen as a conservative hardliner, I think he came in during, the Tea Party. He's become anything but, has more recently attracted attention from opposing colleagues' efforts to impeach President Joe Biden and Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Now, this next article also coming out this afternoon says, now from Newsweek, saying 5 other House Republicans could resign after Ken Buck. Mm-hmm. Now, all of a sudden, it becomes Speaker Jeffries pretty quickly if it happens to be 5 and not 3.
Yes, and it becomes Speaker Jeffries because, again, we can vacate the chair, which was put in by the Republican. Yeah, it's good job.
Vacating the chair has nothing to do with it. These are 5 people that are leaving that are going to essentially hand control back to the Democrats.
Correct, but we're going to vacate the chair, get rid of Johnson, and then they vote him in.
You mean, okay, right. Well, yeah. It's not. Well, I wouldn't say it's vacating the chair. It's you getting kicked out because you lose the majority.
Okay, well, it's the same result.
Now, again, going back to Buck, according to this article, he said he did not elaborate on who might be next to depart Congress. He said, but there are a few Republicans who have publicly voiced negative opinions about Trump and could potentially be the next out the door. One is David Valadao, but I don't know. A spokesperson for the congressman confirmed to Newsweek he has no plans to resign and is actively running for re-election in the 22nd district. Kentucky Republican Thomas Massey backed former presidential candidate and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis in his failed bid. In an interview, he accused Trump of bullying tactics in securing endorsements. Chip Roy of Texas has criticized Trump for issues on the U.S.-Mexico border. In November, he told CNN that Trump failed to actually fully secure the border amid concerns about rising number of migrants. There appears to be no love lost between the pair as Trump has too often spoken out against Roy, calling him a rhino on social media. And Larry Buxton also pillarized the former president. On August 20 of 23, the Indiana Republican predicted Trump would not be the GOP nominee. I guess he missed out on that one because of controversies around him. So there's 3 by name. California is where this guy, David Valadao, is from. But again, he says he's going to be running. Meanwhile, Indiana Republican Greg Pence and Wisconsin Republican Mike Gallagher have both announced they will retire from Congress at the end of their terms. So there you have, I guess it adds up to 5 names, Damon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard for me to believe that Chip Roy or Thomas Massey would be on that list at all. I don't care. I mean, politics is a rough and tumble game. I don't care what the back and forth was, or they supported one guy and then whatever, and how they feel about certain things that happened in the past Trump administration. Come on,
Massey was
grow
pretty
up.
Good on the.
Those are 2 of the 2. Yeah, exactly.
TikTok.
Those are 2 of the best we have. I don't care what anybody tells me. Don't talk to me about Chip Roy being a rhino. Get out of town. So I would be shocked if either one of those 2 is on the list.
I heard Chip Roy last week kind of praising Trump, which was like a sea change.
It's not really. He was.
Well, he went against
he was with
MAGA.
Trump until he decided to back DeSantis.
Yeah.
So
but
what?
He was in like this skirmish with MAGA people. He was like, I don't care if, go F yourselves and all this stuff a couple of months ago. Right?
I do remember him doing that.
And
no, he's been solid on a lot of things, Chip Roy. So.
All right. Anything else, Delgado?
Well, there's this. And again, this is coming from the testimony from Robert Hur yesterday. And now it's being covered by, of all places, ABC News. And this is why it caught my attention, basically, because it comes from ABC News. And they are now questioning things about President Joe Biden. It's almost like they got the high sign. Hey, it's okay to go after him. Transcript of President Joe Biden's interview with the special counsel who investigated the classified information contradicts the president's characterization. And this is one we've talked about the death of his son, Beau Biden, from brain cancer. There's evidence, it says here, and a reference, and I don't remember when my son died, blah, 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 he told reporters. But according to ABC News, a review of the transcript, because we remember when he came out and did that press conference. And he said, how dare they raise that? Mm-hmm. How dare this? And they're completely wrong. And there's, how could he possibly do that? And then, of course, Now, yesterday, just before the testimony, what happens? Well, the transcript gets released and everybody gets to see it. Now, even ABC was forced to deal with it. And the problem is, and I think what the problem really is here for people is they're making excuses for him for getting a date and a year, but that's not why it's the issue. It's not why I think it's the issue. The reason why I think it's an issue is because this exposes the character flaw of Joe Biden, right? What is it? He's never wrong. It doesn't matter what it is. He'll lie about it. The White House had the transcript. They knew what was in it. They knew what it said. And yet there they went. They put Joe Biden out there. They let him go. They backed him up. And they said, how dare they raise this? How dare they talk about his dead son? They put the blame strictly on Robert Hur for bringing it up about a conversation that obviously did not happen the way they knew it happened because they got and Jordan revealed this yesterday. We played the clip that the White House got that transcript of the interview before they were going to release it, a week beforehand. And they asked him for changes they didn't get. So it's not about his faulty memory. I think it goes beyond that. Again, it goes to his character, which is it was a complete and utter lie when he got up there and said, how dare he raise that question about my dead son? And not only was it planned out, it was constructed, and then it was coordinated with the media to back it up. As you heard the echo chamber, they all went, "Oh yeah, how dare he bring that up? Who was he to mention stuff like that about his son and talk about his about his cognitive, if he has dementia or not?" Remember, this lie started only after the White House got that copy, and they needed to get out in front of the story. So I think that's where the whole problem was, because then you have to ask it. Well, how long ago was this interview? What, almost a year ago, maybe? When he did the interview with Robert Hur initially about the documents?
About a year.
Right? Yet they waited till when to tell the lie? When they knew this was coming out. They didn't try to get ahead of it. Oh, we talked about this, and he mentioned my son. They could have mentioned it and I may have gotten some things wrong, and it would have been done with. But no, they hold on to it. Why? Because that's why these people are such scumbags. They need to lie to everybody to force what they want as the story.
Do you think they didn't think the transcript was actually going to get out, though?
I don't think so. I think they thought they had so much control over this that it wouldn't be a problem. And remember, it's a battle right now. It's Obama's people versus Biden's people. Obama's got a lot of people in that White House administration who make the call, who grab things, who leak things, who put things out there. If you don't think he's behind some of this...
It's all an exit ramp to get rid of Biden.
It's a way to keep pressuring him to get him out. Get him out. Remember this? Hey, take a look at this, Joe. Remember that? Yeah. We're going to let that out now. Do you want to step down now? You ready to give your delegates to who we tell you to give them to? Michelle's waiting right over here.
Slick, anytime you want to change teams, you just let me know. Me and Mr. Solomon will welcome you into our team anytime you want.
Well, come
I don't
on.
know. I'm starting to lean a little bit there, Delgado.
Come on.
It's kind of shaky here.
It speaks to all Joe Biden's defects as a human. He's so
Solomon
insecure.
Went there a little
Right.
last night. That when I asked about was Mar-a-Lago, a deflection because they knew this was coming.
Yeah.
Left the door open on that.
Yeah. Remember, when his wife died in that accident, he blamed the driver of the truck. Meanwhile, there's evidence that the driver of the truck didn't do anything wrong. He made that guy's life a living hell. He does it about his wife's accident. He does it about his son's death. He'll lie about anything, big and small. My dad, oh my goodness, oh my God, I had cancer. We used to wake up in the morning. There'd be oil on the windshield of the car.
Right. That's it.
Afghanistan was a success. Right. You're not paying that much for food. Oh my God, look at the jobs we're creating. Everybody, half the country is
smoke jumper. The whole bit. Yeah,
half the country is MAGA extremists. They need to be stopped. This guy will lie about everything and anything, and it's always somebody else's fault.
Always.
But that's just what I think. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Because I don't know the guy. But
well, someone in the Facebook chat said, "Are you? Is this an official Delgado theory?"
Theory, yes. Oh, of course, yes, of course. Big theory.
Okay. So you don't think they thought the transcript would actually get out so we could actually see what the...
No,
I mean, Republicans were calling for it pretty quick.
Right.
We called for it pretty quick.
But they thought they had her in their pocket. Her's not their guy. Obama's guy. Just saying.
I mean, I thought Herc came across, other than this idiotic, I thought he came across, for the most part, pretty
Yeah, he came across fine.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Other than the conclusions he came to, which obviously, for me, is less about him and more about Merrick Garland just telling him, this is what you're going to do.
It gives her the out, but it still creates the exit.
Right. And Merrick Garland is this guy's boss, and Merrick Garland is an Obama guy. He is not a Biden guy. Remember, Obama wanted him on the Supreme Court. That was his guy. He didn't get it.
He played the evil emperor in Star Wars, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. All right. Anything else in the news, Delgado?
That's enough theories for now, Damon.
All right, very good. News is brought to you by 7 Cells. We will do, we don't have time for David Z right now. We'll do David Z News. And when we get back, right after this, if you're with us on Facebook or YouTube, stay with us. We'll stay with you. We'll be back if you're watching anywhere else. 3 minutes, live from Studio 6B. It shows up to like 10,000 on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
And where's the chat on here?
Just
It's
underneath.
streaming, or
Just
we used to
click
get
on
like
it,
30.
yeah.
okay, gotcha.
30,000. I thought we were going to be millionaires. And we got shut down. Made fun of. Who do we make fun of?
I'm going to lose all my Getter
gonna say.
followers. I got like 39,000 Getter. They're
Yeah,
gonna
you've
shut
got
down.
a nice account for
You're
getting.
going to lose. What do you mean you're going to lose them?
They might fold. They've been operating on a shoestring for 3 weeks.
Move them over,
They have
David.
no staff. They have no money.
They'll find you again.
I'm worried.
All right. Speaking of the chat, let's go in
We're in
here.
the chat. Hello, chat.
Let's see. Kevin says, I want to have what he's having. That's got to be a reference to Delgado because
What? It's fun over here. You should join me. The weather's great.
yeah, it is way up there in the clouds.
Yes, you get to see everything. You get to see
Exactly.
everything from the 30,000 feet. You're like, that's how they're screwing us.
Vince on Facebook says, we want to see Slick Rick's shoes. Wow.
Oh, yeah, well.
We're going to have a rule for the shoes
Oh,
showing?
Yeah, you're only at 8,500 and get.
Well, that's only just Getter. Maybe we have to change up.
Yeah, 30,000 in Facebook.
Maybe we have to change up the numbers. We have a certain number of shares or views to get the shoes off.
Oh, that's
Gotta
mean.
mix them up.
Because what if somebody's like, hey, I'm just I'm switching over from Getter to here for a while to check it out, and then you're gonna penalize them.
The other
That
person
seems
watching
very,
Kick with me is going to be disappointed.
Well, somebody on Kick deserves to see the shoes, right?
Oh, my God,
Kick's
Kick.
on Kick.
I don't even know what Kick is.
Yeah, neither do I.
Kick.com. I like
thought it
it.
was-
It's mostly gamers, though. We're not going to have a big audience over there, but it's just another place to be.
It's a building platform. They're new.
Yeah. Let's see what else is going on. No, James, you're right. We haven't done this in a while. We haven't stayed live through the breaks,
That's
but we're
true.
going to start doing it.
Remember we used to do that? We used to have some big followers, right, in Facebook back in the day.
I don't remember.
Well, you would remember.
You had like 120,000 followers, right, on Facebook?
We got 114 right now.
Oh,
Incredible.
not bad.
114,000.
Yeah. We need more.
Hey, does this I'm dead. 114. What? Is that people writing, or I'm trying to figure out? Is this does this?
8:13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Wednesday night. Glad you're in. Slick Rick's going to do some more sports. Delgado will do some more news in hour 2. But right now, please welcome the host of Breaking Point, 8 a.m. on Saturday mornings with some news of his own, and that is the great David Zier. Mr. Zier, what's going on?
Hey, I got a lot of stuff for you tonight. So Dave Bratt's coming to Long Island March 27th.
Love Dave
America
Bratt.
First Warehouse. That should be a great night. We're going to record it for Rav. And Georgia, just to get back, you know, that Raffensperger thing started this whole thing, that phone call. Blows a hole in everything. And Jonathan Turley was saying that trial's unlikely to see come to fruition this year before the election. So I just wanted to point that out, too.
Speaking of Jonathan Turley, Jonathan Turley writes today over at The Blaze about Robert Hur in that case. If you haven't seen it, it's on the front page. You should go read it.
Check it out.
Yeah, you should go read it.
Yeah, he's great. So food prices, right? Carrie Jean-Pierre, I have a short clip from her, cut number 4.
Inflation is down 2/3, and we have the lowest annual core inflation since May 2021. Prices fell over the last year for gas, milk, eggs, chicken, appliances, and also used cars. Wages are rising faster than prices over the last year since the pandemic, and forecasts broadly expect progress on inflation to continue over the rest of the year.
Now, I don't know when.
Is that a crazy town?
I don't know when that was recorded, but it's irrelevant, right? Because price has been up since Biden's president, right?
Yeah.
But
Well, that could be any day. That was probably today in the press briefing room, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. I think so. I got it off of X today, but you know. We're all in the supermarket. She hasn't been in the supermarket. It's like George Bush didn't know the price of socks, right? Grapes, $4.99 a pound. Lettuce, $2.75 a head today. Potatoes are double, right? Eggs, $3.50 a dozen again. The prices have soared. They've soared recently again, but even more than before.
Yeah, my milk at Costco is going back up.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I caught myself again, David. I caught myself again.
What?
Looking at clothes at Costco. It's like when you start shopping for clothes at Costco, it's like, man, what has happened to me?
I got pants there.
I don't think so at all. I think they. I think. They have
Well, the
nice-
funny part is, I'm only doing it because I'm like, not because of money, but I'm like, wow, this stuff looks actually pretty good.
I got pants for $14.97 there.
Yeah.
And they're great.
Slick's having a coronary over there.
These guys with the dollar hot dogs in their pockets. Come on.
If Slick can't break out the American Express Black to pay for it, he doesn't want it. So
I couldn't.
not like the rest of
He
us.
pays $14.97 a sock.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So, guys, I just wanted to get to a couple of quick things here. You know, this Haiti thing's been going on a long time. It's intergenerational. Under Clinton, we had 125,000, I think, Haitians that were let into the United States. The Mario boat lift out of Cuba, all the prisoners, mentally ill, and other people were let out, 125,000. But this stuff going on in Haiti is going to dwarf that and then take in 750,000 Palestinians. But you know, Moise was assassinated in 2021 in Haiti, and these gangs have been run amok in Haiti. The Clinton Foundation actually hurt Haiti. After the earthquake in 2010, there was a lot of money that was stolen. 11 million people are in the country of Haiti. Their murder rate right now in 2023 is 20 times New York City. With like 8,000 murders. It's up 122% from last year. The Clinton's influence in Haiti goes back to the 90s, the agricultural policies. He destroyed the country's rice industry, meddling in internal affairs after the earthquake. So this is an ongoing thing, but, you know, the gangs have always done the bidding in Haiti. So it's a very serious situation.
Yeah, and don't forget the child trafficking that comes out of there.
Yeah, it's incredible.
That it turns out some of these, a lot of these groups that are like, oh, we're going to be there to save the children. The people that they hired to save the children were there to abuse the children and traffic the children. So those stories have been coming out.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I also want to talk about the airlines. You know, there's so many things just in the last couple of weeks and months that I've witnessed. I fly a lot. I've noticed the jet bridges aren't working. There's turbulence everywhere and all that, and that's okay. But I feel like the airline industry it's falling apart, and there's no leadership going on, and there's nobody watching it, and it's a disaster waiting to happen. Alaska Airways passengers running into the cockpit door 3 times, facing a 20-year sentence worth of charges, and 50 were injured in Asia last week, with the drop of the plane. Another plane in Sydney had to turn back. A 777 had to turn around. 2 pilots fell asleep in Asia, taking the plane way off course. And then you got the 737 MAX door. You got the Boeing scandals, and they're sealing the doors with laundry detergent, with dish soap. They're checking the seals of the 737 MAX doors. Also, I heard something else ridiculous.
I saw a headline. I saw a headline in on Boeing. Getting to your point here, David Zier. Put that up, Aaron. I don't know if you guys saw this one.
Yeah, the terrorists won't even hijack a Boeing. I was going to say
terrorists decide against hijacking plane after realizing it's a Boeing.
Yeah. Well, did you hear the terrorists took a 747 full of lawyers hostage?
No.
They threatened to release one every 30 minutes. So, listen, there's a lot of stuff going on in the industry, and it's concerning. Anyone, we have loved ones who fly. And it was good for a while. After the Southwest debacle last year and other things, and all those flights that got canceled, it kind of got better. But now it's like all this is happening at once. We have to get on top of this, or something bad can happen here.
Well, you know the story about the student pilot, right? The kid.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Well, he told crew members he was merely testing them.
Yeah, right.
that was his way of testing them, to make sure that they're on top of their game for the flight.
But he had like manuals with him and stuff on how to fly.
The plane by himself.
Really crazy here. And when we come back later, I have this James O'Keefe thing, which is extraordinary, transgender in the military, and a Pentagon wanting to get rid of your gun rights and stuff like that. And then I've got a couple of clips from the black pastors at the America First warehouse on the inner cities. Was pretty powerful stuff.
Okay, very good. We'll do some more news with David Zier coming up. Let's do some sports with Slick. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. Slickster, what's going on?
Well, big deal. This story was yesterday, but just following up. Strawberry recovering from heart attack. This is from Fox Sports. Here we go. Anthony DiComo, West Palm Beach, Florida. Mets legend Darryl Strawberry suffered a heart attack Monday evening that required him to spend his 62nd birthday in the hospital bed. But he received prompt treatment and was already in recovery the following day. Strawberry announced news of the episode on Instagram, praising God for his amazing grace and loving mercy in saving my life this evening from a heart attack. The longtime Mets outfielder wrote, "I'm so happy and honored to report that all is well." The 62-year-old Strawberry added that he received treatment at St. Joseph West in Lake St. Louis, Missouri, where the medical staff used a stent to restore his heart to regular function. Mets manager Carlos Mendoza opened his daily pregame press conference Tuesday with well wishes for Strawberry, who had spent several days earlier this month serving as a guest instructor in Port St. Lucie, Florida. So, Darryl Strawberry in the hospital there and trying to get better. He obviously spent 17 years in the big leagues after the Mets selected him first overall in the 1980 MLB draft. The first 8 of those seasons came with the Mets, including 1983 Rookie of the Year campaign that saw him hit 26 homers with an 848 OPS. So Strawberry was also an integral part of the Mets' 1986 World Series, that being the Mets' last World Series they won, probably maybe ever. So that was good, though, for Strawberry. Good to see he's doing well, Big D.
And I think he's a one of 2 players, along with Dwight Gooden, who ever won a World Series with both the Mets and the Yankees.
Yes, that's true. He did win with the Yankees again. Doc. Yeah, unbelievable. So, pray for Strawberry.
I saw Doc Gooden's no-hitter at the stadium.
Oh, you did?
Great day.
Wow. All right, more sports with Slick coming up, and then we'll do some news. Crazy Town coming up at 9:30, live from Studio 6B. Back after this.
no, it's not that good. Remember Salvage City? Remember Sand Salvage?
It's like, oh, that was terrible.
Sam's Club is not good. Isn't it basically the same stuff?
But it's like the off-brand Costco.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Like you get like
It's the same shit.
But it's not as cool. You could tell as soon as you walk in, you're like, this is Costco wannabe. Not really up to snuff.
you get like a 50 pack of overtime gum.
Right.
Judy Jennings says this music sucks. Well, you're the first one to ever say anything about the music. People love the music. What are you talking about?
Yeah, she likes elevated music, probably.
You don't like Stevie Ray Vaughan?
Come on.
You don't like the blues? Sue says, you guys tell it like it is. Y'all make my day. Thank you very much. Watching on Facebook. Sue on YouTube says, no, the music is great.
That's right. We get people requesting soundtracks from our music.
Yeah.
Well, if they would, what I'm playing every night?
Yeah.
People want me to put up a list in like with links. Like every day.
That's a lot of work.
That's not happening.
We need to hire somebody. Just
Sandy
to do
says
that.
we need more country music.
That was country music.
Veronica says we love the music. Amy says love the music. How about some love for the YouTube chat, Damon? Come on, Tommy Viper.
Oh.
Come on, Tommy Viper.
Where's Tommy Viper?
Tommy Viper.
Luann says she loves the music. Thank you.
Oh, nice.
Christine Ritchie on YouTube says I found you on YouTube. Yay, team. Tracy on Facebook says the music rocks.
Bailey Girl 2 in the Getter chat says, I'm craving New York style pizza. As well, you should. I don't know where you're at, but there's no good pizza there, she says.
Well, where are you at? I'll tell you what's good pizza wherever you're at, because I have the One Bite app.
Did you go to Vinny's last night?
Yeah.
Was it good?
No. I think Vinny sucks.
Why? What
quite
happened?
frankly.
What happened?
Oh, I think it does.
Once in a while.
That's not good pizza. That's got floppy, thinny, greasy pizza.
No. Well, once in a while they're not. It depends who's making it.
Hold on one second here.
Yeah, the once in a while
Yeah.
thing.
What do you mean I have
gotta
to
be
order it the
consistent.
right way? What the hell am I
was
doing
for
wrong?
When you go
first
to
you
Vinny's,
go
you
with
have to
Harry.
order
That's
it
the
a
first
certain
problem.
way.
Well,
you have to order it well done with the cold cheese on the side, and then you put the cold cheese on top, and it's well done, crispy, no flop.
The
You
slices
don't
in
really need it
Huntington
on the
are
side.
always
Just
good.
have them put it on there, and when,
No, but it's
when
better
they take
'cause
it
you
out of the
get
oven,
more.
it's good.
All right, we got to
Yeah.
go back to the show. We're back in 5.
All right, live from Studio 6B, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Hour 2, Real America's Voice on a Wednesday night. Glad you're in. David Zier sitting right to my left. He's going to do some more news. Rick Delgado. He's got news as well coming up in hour 2. Slickster, Scott Sports, Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Crazy Town at 9:30. Probably going to get a couple of these a week now that Biden's out. Unfortunately, it's pretty much the same damn speech. But his auctioneer mumbling, sometimes it's mumbling, sometimes it's auctioneer. It's different every time, so it's still worth it. So we'll get to that at 9:30. We'll get to sports here in a second. But we are tumbling our way to fiscal doom in this country. I keep talking about it. We keep talking about taxes. A lot of financial stuff on this show we talk about because I like to focus on it almost more than anything else. And the fiscal insanity that continues to ensue in this government. And I saw this piece today that put this in about as good a context. If you thought about nothing else, and you want to, and there's a lot of discussion right now, and this is why, you're having Dave Bratt over at the America's First Warehouse. Dave Bratt's the perfect person to have these kind of discussions with because no one knows more about it than he does. And there's a lot of discussions because Ben Shapiro, I don't know if you guys saw, put out on his show, was talking about retiring. What's a good age to be retiring, and no American should be retiring. Basically talking about Social Security and some other things. And there's a big old brouhaha over what he said. and not that I don't want to get into that discussion. I'd like to get into that discussion because those are the kind of topics we need to have discussions about. But for right now, I'm not going to get into that. But what I do want to get into is this, just the picture. And I've said this before. Most people understand like millions of dollars. Some people can understand what billions of dollars. There's like 10 people in the world who can maybe even start to try to figure out what $1 trillion looks like or is, or the meaning of these borrowing $1 trillion every 100 days. So there's an article today in the American Thinker entitled "The Greenback Mile." And it says, while many Americans were nursing their New Year's holiday hangover in the U.S., the national debt crossed over $34 trillion. That was back on January 1st. Worse, our government's propensity for writing checks against our overdrawn bank account will add now an additional $1 trillion every 100 days, with the debt on track to climb past the $35 trillion mark in April of 2024. In any sane world, such reckless government spending would prompt a taxpayer revolt, along with a nationwide demand for wholesale resignations of the debtaholic politicians. Yet America's ballooning national debt continues to increase, with seemingly few citizens calling for responsible heads to roll. $35 trillion is a staggering, unimaginable sum of money. The majority of the citizens understands the concept of hundreds of thousands, millions, because we're exposed to these values every day. Houses cost hundreds of thousands. Many of us can drive over to the rich section of a town and look at the $1 million homes. Even the concept of $1 billion is somewhat understood by most. However, it's likely that very few citizens truly understand just how massive $1 trillion of anything is, and this ignorance is partly responsible for our national debt. It might help to visualize $35 trillion in a real-world setting. Imagine converting the debt into 35 trillion $1 bills, and then laying those bills side by side like cobblestones on a road to pave the length of an interstate highway, specifically Interstate I-80, that stretches east to west across the continental U.S. for 2,900.76 miles, connecting New Jersey to San Francisco. Assume an average of 12 feet per travel lane, or 48 feet total across the 4 lanes of I-80. In effect, an area 48 feet wide by 2,900 miles long. It takes 2.277 million $1 bills to pave 1 mile of these 4 lanes of interstate highway. To pave the entire 4 lanes of I-80 from coast to coast will take 6.6 billion $1 bills. However, 6.6 billion is only 0.00019% of the $35 trillion national debt. To display the entire debt across the length and breadth of Interstate 80, we have to stack dollars in layers. To be exact, it will take 5,298 layers of dollar bills laid atop I-80 to display the national debt. Said another way, if a national debt of $35 trillion was converted to $1 bills and used to carpet the 4 lanes of I-80 from New Jersey to San Francisco, the travelers on all 4 lanes of that highway would be driving on a 22.8 inches thick carpet of $1 bills. Driving on just 1 mile of this 4-lane carpet of debt, their cars would pass over $12 billion. Driving at 60 miles an hour, it takes about 48 hours of nonstop travel to make the drive across the middle American highway. Imagine driving on a 22.8-inch carpet of dollar bills the entire 48 hours. That, my fellow patriots, is $35 trillion in national debt portrayed in dollar bill format. If the debt grows to $37.5 trillion as anticipated this year, that carpet grows to 24.4 inches thick by January of 2025. The growing national debt is an overdrawn credit card our politicians have mismanaged for decades of excess spending on nonsense projects. Additionally, these same politicians have created a separate debt of $175 trillion worth of IOUs in the form of Social Security and Medicare obligations. The $175 trillion adds another 9.5-foot layer of dollar bills on top of the I-80 carpet, making the total carpet of dollar debt 11.4 feet high and stretching from coast to coast.
I drove I-80 in Iowa many times, and from the Missouri to the Mississippi, and that alone was really far. I could just imagine, right? And big trafficking corridor for illegals through Iowa, by the way, I-80.
So you just think about that, what he laid out in terms that everybody can visualize. That's what $35 trillion of debt looks like. And we're borrowing an extra trillion every 3 months, basically every 100 days.
Oof. That's a lot of I-80 driving you got to do. How much did the gas is it going to cost you?
Yeah.
I think I passed the world's largest truck stop on I-80 in Iowa.
Taking a toll.
Did you pass the world's largest skillet too? I mean, who cares?
No, you know what? It's a great place. There's a Jesse James historical site on I-80, but I'm just thinking about just that route in that state, paved with 48 feet wide of dollar bills, right? It's incredible. You can't. It's unfathomable.
It's unfathomable, yeah. and it's like the third rail of politics. Nobody wants to talk about it.
No. It's like the when you heard
Biden's budget is $7.3 trillion.
Wow.
That he just proposed.
2.3 over what we can actually bring in.
So now you got to ask for $1 trillion.
Right.
We need one of those credit cards. Transfer all your debt, interest-free, 21 months.
Yeah, 37 trill.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, let's do some more sports since we didn't get a chance to do too much in the last segment. And here with that, Slick Rick. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. What's going on, Slick?
All right, Big D, back to the scoreboard. NHL action right now. Blues lead the Kings 2-0. 9 seconds to go there in the second period. Predators over the Jets 2-0. 4 minutes to go there in the second. And 10 p.m. tonight, we have the Capitals visiting the Oilers out in Edmonton, and the Avalanche taking on the Canucks out west as well. 10:30 puck drops. NCAA men's basketball, good one. Kansas State right now leading Texas 70-68. 22 seconds to go in regulation. Florida State took out Virginia Tech 86-76 earlier tonight. BYU over UCF 87-73. TCU beat Oklahoma 77-70. McNeese 92-76 over Nichols. Colgate defeated Lehigh 74-55. Syracuse fell to NC State 83-65. We have Cincinnati at Kansas, Boston College at Clemson, and Montana State at Montana, all coming up between 9:30 and 11:30 tip-offs. So NCAA getting down to the wire, Big D. Jets Sauce Gardner jokes Aaron Rodgers has been hard to reach after talk of potential VP run in 2024. Rodgers is entering his second season with the Jets. This is Paulina Dadaj of Fox News. New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers has apparently been a hard man to reach. Cornerback Sauce Gardner reacted Tuesday to the news that independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is considering the 4-time league MVP as a potential running mate in 2024. Oh, Aaron about to become the VP. That's why he ain't been answering my text messages, Gardner joked in a post on X. That's a quote. The New York Times first reported that Rodgers was on Kennedy's short list. A representative for Kennedy later confirmed to Fox Digital News. Rodgers has been outspoken about his support of Kennedy in the past. In October, he said during an appearance on the Pat McAfee show that he would even team up with Kennedy in a debate against Travis Kelce, who he then called Mr. Pfizer. But being on the presidential campaign trail might conflict with Rodgers' other interests, winning a Super Bowl with the Jets. Well, that hasn't happened in decades. The goal of bringing the Vince Lombardi Trophy back to New York in his first season with the team came to an abrupt end in the Jets season opener in September when Rodgers suffered a ruptured Achilles heel just 4 plays into his debut. He impressed fans with this speedy recovery and even suggested a possible comeback before the season's end, which would have depended on where the Jets' playoff chances stood. Now, Rick and I were looking. We figure it this way.
Yeah.
In the event that Aaron Rodgers decides to run, as a VP on that ticket with Mr. Kennedy, he actually could be ready to be sworn in time. You figure the Jets season usually ends around the first week in January, the 7th, when the regular season ends. Yep. So they'll finish up the season, and he's got a good 2 weeks to prepare, get his tuxedo, and be ready for the swearing-in ceremony on the 20th in D.C.
It usually ends in September.
Well, it usually ends in that. But, he's got to finish out the run. David's got to earn his contract.
He's got a better shot of being VP than he does of winning a Super Bowl with the Jets.
10 times over.
What?
Ouch.
Yeah.
What? Is that too soon? Too soon?
Aaron,
The
wow.
last time the Beatles were together, the Jets won a Super Bowl. So, Strawberry Fields. All right. Hey, that's a wrap, Big D. I'm going to get wrapped.
You guys are rough. Your mics aren't going to work next segment if it's up to Aaron.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
All right, 13 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. More news with Delgado and Zier coming up.
I'm out. Good Lord. Oh, man, over 10,000.
Oh, my God. Who cares?
Everybody does.
You have reads here?
We got like 7 reads in a row?
No, only 2 tonight.
What are my reads tonight?
Birch Gold and Wellness Company.
Birch Gold and the Wellness Company.
Are we on?
Boy, the doc's been making the rounds on all the shows.
I love that guy.
He's still fired up.
Oh, yeah? Did he change his vote yet?
I don't know.
Oof.
Now, are we on during the break here again?
Yeah, we're on.
Oh, okay.
It's wild.
People wondering that was my version of the Donald Trump towel dance. What he does after every.
Why'd you do it with your back to the camera?
Because I was like I got out of the shower. I had a Mike Lindell towel. But by the way, got my new Lindell bath sheets. Oh my goodness!
What's the difference?
They're so big. Well, they're huge.
What's a bath sheet?
The bath sheets are the big towels, like the big, just, it could wrap it, like one could fit around.
Here we go.
One could fit around Damon halfway.
I have the pillows and a couple of and a bed top.
Those aren't pillows.
But I don't have the towels. I got to buy.
Towels are nice. Of course I did.
Daryl
Did I
on
get my
Facebook,
T-shirt? No.
Daryl on Facebook said it's way more fun watching you guys on the breaks.
I forgot we were on the break.
What happened during the break?
Riveting conversation.
Somebody said something?
Kristen says, y'all my favorite show, Delgado's Trump-style dance. Love it.
See?
No, you didn't love it.
It's a Trump. Yes, she did.
Terrible.
It's awesome.
The 4 left feet.
It's the best dance in the
Sergeant
world.
Abby says, got LFS6B on Samsung 1029. Getter, now also YouTube.
Somebody.
Wow.
WTH Damon. What the hell? What the heck?
How about,
Damon?
what's his
What
name?
do you mean?
We're on YouTube.
Yeah, we're on YouTube too.
Where's the guy? Divine?
Welcome to the party, pal.
Anywhere we can be is a good place to be.
Yeah.
Divine says that Slick Rick is gayer than sheep.
So
I said that was a bad
Every
joke.
night we stream on YouTube Live.
Slick Rick is gayer than sheep.
Wow. That's a little harsh.
Oh.
That is harsh. He doesn't watch the show too
cool.
much. Unfortunately, I'm married. Oh, it don't mean nothing.
So was Rock Hudson.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
What comment?
You heard how he died, right?
Botulism. Too much fat in the can.
David's here. Oh, my God.
Had to do it.
You've been hanging out with Don Rickles too much.
Yeah.
Studio 6B. I guess that music means I got to read something. Oh, yes, you do, Damon, because Fran told you 3 minutes ago you had to read something, but I didn't pull it up. What am I doing here? Oh, sound like the blues.
I think this is a long track.
Financial experts, listen up here. Come on, let's get serious. Financial experts thought we were in the clear. They were anticipating around 6 rate cuts by the Fed this year, and then the inflation data came out. Well, absolutely right, just the other day. Higher than expected. Friends, this isn't going away because it can't. The U.S. is $34 trillion in the hole, yet we keep printing money, which pushes the prices up that you pay every day even higher. So you can either bury your head in the sand, which is seemingly what everybody wants to do, or you can do something about it. Diversify a portion of your savings into gold with Birch Gold Group. Gold is your hedge against inflation, and Birch Gold makes it easy to own. They'll help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold, and it won't cost you a penny out of pocket. All you got to do is text America to 989898. That's right, just text America, the word America, from your mobile device. Send it to 989898. That's the number to send your text to. And you'll get a free information kit on gold. Then you can talk to a precious metal specialist over there at Birch Gold on how to protect your savings from what looks like it's going to be persistent inflation. And you can do it with gold. Just text America to 989898 and do it now. I saw that Janet Yellen was interviewed on, I think, CNBC, or maybe it was Fox Business, and they said to her about inflation, you know, it doesn't seem to be going away. And she said, well, I kind of regret using the term it was transitory, because it clearly is not transitory, and it has not been transitory, and it's seemingly not getting back to 2% anytime soon. So if you want to hedge against persistent inflation, text America to 989898. What's the other one, Fran? Well, it sounds like I need the wellness company right now. Everybody knows the next medical crisis is just around the corner, whether it comes in the form of a pandemic or something much more mundane like a tick bite. You and your family need to be prepared. That's where the wellness company comes in. You know the wellness company. We have their great doctors like Dr. Peter McCullough, and we had Dr. Thorpe on the other night. Boy, that boy was fired up. Now that boy was fired up. The Wellness Company and their doctors are medical professionals that you can trust, and their new medical emergency kits are the gold standard when it comes to keeping you safe and healthy. Be ready for anything. This medical emergency kit contains an assortment of life-saving medications, including ivermectin and Z-Pak. The medical emergency kit provides a guidebook to aid in the safe use of all of these life-saving medications, from anthrax to tick bites to COVID and even to a bioweapon like the plague. The Wellness Company's medical emergency kit is exactly what you need to have on hand to be prepared. Rest assured, knowing that you have emergency antibiotics, antivirals, and antiparasitics on hand to help keep you and your family safe from whatever the globalists throw at us next. Go to www.twc.health/voice. That's www.twc.health/voice. And then you can use promo code VOICE to save an additional 10% over there at the Wellness Company. Check them out today. All right, 20 minutes past the hour. Let's do some news. And here with the news is Rick Delgado. News is brought to you by 7 Cells. Mr. Delgado, what's going on?
All right. Well, a bunch going on. One story I definitely want to make sure that you are aware of, Damon.
Oh.
Simply because it has to do with your fine state of birth. Connecticut, again, making the news as armed citizen patrols start in Hartford amid violence concerns. Did you hear about this?
I did. Hartford is
Brutal.
a whole 11 minutes from where I grew up.
Yeah. Kind of an insane story. Organizers say the people will be legally carrying as they walk around parts of the city where violence has taken its toll, according to this new controversial armed citizen patrol that is launched in Hartford, Connecticut. Hartford's North End on Saturday, a group of people looked to patrol and clean up Garden Street. It's important to come out here because we believe that we have to keep our community safe, they say. And we have a clip. I believe it's clip number 7.
Hartford's North End on Saturday.
We are legally armed, and we're patrolling
group of people look to patrol and clean up Garden Street.
It's important to come out here because we believe that we have to keep the community safe, we have to keep the community clean. And we're doing this by being out here for a few hours, cleaning up the community, picking up the trash.
Garden Street has seen its share of gun violence, including a double homicide in February, which is what prompted the push for civilian armed patrols.
The people on Garden Street came to us and asked us for help. We are not vigilantes. We are a group of people that are disciplined, who train, who go to the shooting range.
Can anybody go to the gun range?
Earlier, there was a talk about gun rights, including how to get a permit, safe storage and carry, and personal use. The founder of the brigade says they plan to do the patrols a few times a week.
We'll be patrolling at night, so it's not just a one-time thing.
While there did not appear to be open carry, which is banned in Connecticut, organizers previously told us those armed would be licensed and have concealed weapons.
Yeah, so there you have it, coming out of Hartford in Connecticut. Not something you thought you'd see. Of course, the mayor of Hartford, whose name I can't pronounce, said, our community has been through so much pain and trauma, and what we need is for those who love the city to do the hard work of healing that pain. But he said he did not need people being trained to walk the streets with guns and to try to take the law into their own hands. Of course, he might think differently once his family gets attacked and is mugged and is made to feel like they've been abandoned.
What should we do? Just keep living it up to you losers who have taken over the state over the last since who was the last Republican governor there? Roland, right? Yeah.
You know, Hartford is more dangerous than 91% of America's cities.
Yeah, wow. It's crazy.
I grew up 11-minute car ride from downtown Hartford. I used to go there all the time. We used to go to the Whalers game. The Celtics played a lot of games at the Hartford Civic Center.
Yeah. West Hartford's rough, right?
West Hartford is not rough at all.
No.
West Hartford's just the opposite.
There's been a lot of crime.
But I used to go down, God, what was that street that led right into Hartford? I spent half my high school life driving up and down that street. But it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was, it was always like, okay, you got to watch yourself. Could be some bad areas, but it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know exactly where that is.
That's crazy. Hey, something else that has been making the rounds. I don't know if you saw this, but Slick Rick alluded to it earlier about Aaron Rodgers, but independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy said he's going to announce his running mate March the 26th in Oakland, California, which leads me to think, who played football in Oakland, California at Berkeley?
Who else?
I mean,
I'm just throwing it out there.
What is
I don't
this,
know.
Aaron Rodgers? I mean, this is like delusion. What is this?
I don't know.
Where did this start?
I'm going with Jesse the Body Ventura.
According to Kennedy, he made up his mind on his running mate. It's a short list that includes the aforementioned Aaron Rodgers, former Minnesota governor Jesse the Body Ventura.
Rodgers is on the list?
Yeah.
Oh, that's where it started.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed
it started from him. Jesse the Body Ventura is on the list.
That's immediately disqualifying.
The former governor.
I ain't got time to bleed. Other names on the short list include Democratic Representative Tulsi Gabbard, Republican Senator Rand Paul.
Isn't she on Trump's list, too?
Yeah. And former Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang, a campaign spokesperson, said Kennedy told CNN as he spoke to the former television host Mike Rowe, as well as motivational speaker Tony Robbins and Tricia Lindsay, a civil rights attorney. So there you have it. He's got a wide array of people that he's pooling from.
He's going to pick a leftist because that's what he is.
Yeah.
I mean, except for two issues. Who are we kidding here?
You don't think Jesse the Body would be a good pick?
He lost his mind.
You sound more like
I know, I'm terrible. I can't do Jesse the Body.
I ain't got time to bleed.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Sound more like Schwarzenegger.
No, he talks like
I'll
this.
Be back. Neighbor.
Go ahead.
Where's your neighbor?
Get to the voting booth.
God, cut the mics, please.
Awesome. Great. Damon's going to rub his feet because they're dry.
And then grind his beans.
And grind his. He's got his bunions on those gigantic water skis he flops around here.
Yeah.
Jeez. Anyhow. What did you say during me?
What? Whalers?
Yes.
I let that fly.
What a surprise.
We used to go to Whalers games. I'm like, really?
Really? You sure it was a game?
Did you have a Whalers jersey?
You sure it was a game? The kids just weren't trying to harpoon you? I think he can still hear us.
Who cares?
I'm not talking about the people. I don't care if I think Damon can still hear it.
There you go. Yeah, there's your pink slip, Delgado. There you go.
Exactly. Give me a pen.
Fire! Yeah, your pen don't write.
Your pen doesn't write.
Just like your content.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God. Look at this, Delgado just lost his hat.
Now you're going to blame me for this microphone.
Oh, talk about a mic drop.
Oh, my goodness.
You break that one, you don't get another.
I don't think Damon would be unhappy with that.
Oh, man.
Damon is the size of a whale?
Oh, I didn't. Who said
I didn't
that?
say that.
That's
I'm looking at.
people are putting words in your
Yes.
YouTube.
Putting something in your mouth.
Shut up.
It's a whale of a show.
Where'd you guys start here?
Nothing.
Hey, you're the one that went to Whalers games. That's what your friends told you anyway.
Yeah, right. You went to remember the Hartford Whalers? Wow.
Hartford.
Yeah,
Whalers.
Hartford Whalers.
What's that street that goes across the bridge? Is that Pratt Street in Hartford?
Oh, man.
Did you go to like Louis' Lunch and stuff in New Haven when you were a kid? And
No, New Haven's like
the oldest
45
burger joint?
New Haven's like 45 minutes from where I grew up. It's not close. New Haven's like closer to 95.
I've been meaning to go there. It's the oldest hamburger joint in the U.S.
Well, New Haven's got the best pizza in the world, too.
Yeah.
Go to Sally's.
Yeah.
You can go to
The white clam pizza, I heard, is great.
Sally's, a pizza. You got
There's another old
the
one.
pizza place.
what's the other one? You got three of them there. The three mainstays: Sally's, Pepe's,
Yeah, Pepe's.
and what's the other? I forget what the other one is.
Fred's.
No, it's not Fred's.
It's not Fred's Pizza?
Hey,
Nope.
Fred.
What time is it? What are we doing here? Crazy Town time. All right.
Rails.
Veronica Santos in the I think it's the Facebook chat. She's like, "We can hear you."
Yeah, no, we know we can hear us. That's why we're live in the breaks on Facebook and YouTube, and it's just off the rails what's going on. Just off the rails. So live from Studio 6B, 30 minutes past the hour. Slick Rick's doing sports. Delgado's doing news. David Zier's going to do some more news here in 1 second, right after we do Crazy Town. Right now, Biden was out and about today, and well, it didn't go didn't go too well. Roll it, Aaron.
He's like, "Where'd everybody go? Turn around, dummy."
I didn't see that.
Oh.
God, as my father would say, excuse my back, I apologize. Hello, Milwaukee. Is your son here? All right. Well, I warn anybody, don't run for mayor. They know where you live and you think you can solve all your problems. The communities everywhere and at the Boys and Girls Club. By the way, I've been a gigantic supporter of Boys and Girls, just the biggest in the country. But when I was a senator, I provided a lot of money during the crime sprees were going on for Boys and Girls Clubs. I come from a city, Wilmington, Delaware, where it's the same thing happened. We're in a situation where I-95 is 4 lanes going through a community that was all African American, and it just split it. And it's now about 50, 60, maybe 70 yards wide. And I'm president. I can't get that done yet. Why'd you guys get it first? I don't know. There are also cities all across America where highways used to be, and they along with redlining, black small business from hotels to jazz clubs to restaurants like Ray's grandfathers. Today, 6th Street is a wide road without a protected bike path, bike lanes, or bus lanes. All of this locking people out of opportunities and leaving them more isolated. A safe place to read and learn, where libraries who were given cake, the librarian would give cake to children when they showed up to read. From watching the Milwaukee Bucks play to attending Milwaukee Area Technical College. And if I didn't mention the technical college, I'd go home and sleep alone because my wife is a full-time teacher at the community college.
Yeah, of course she is. Yeah,
you all think I'm kidding. I'm not. You know, I've been very involved for a while. I know I look like I just arrived, but all kidding aside, I didn't realize, even though I was deeply involved initially in the civil rights movement that got me involved to run for the first place. Back in December, I was in Milwaukee and met with a plumber named Rashawn, who owns it. Is he here? Who? All right. The community's too often left behind. We're rebuilding. We're rebuilding the roads. We're filling in the cracks in the sidewalks. We're creating spaces to live and work and play safely. Wages are rising faster than prices, and now we have among the lowest inflation rates of any country in America, and we're still fighting to lower it even further. We're fighting to lower health care cost, education costs, to give just a little more breathing room, as my dad would say. Guess what? It lowered the federal deficit by $160 billion. Very own Senator Ron Johnson calls Social Security, I get this one, I'm amazed. He calls Social Security a Ponzi scheme. Did you ever think you'd hear anybody say that? A Ponzi scheme? Give me a break. Instead of cutting Social Security and Medicare to give tax breaks to the super wealthy, I'm going to protect and strengthen Social Security and Medicare to make the wealthy begin to pay their fair share. And for every life lost, there is estimated 8 close family behind. And now we're building a future America full of possibilities. Building an economy from the middle out and the bottom up, not the top down. That top-down stuff, not a whole lot landed on my dad's kitchen table growing up. Look, our plan is working. America's coming back.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I swear to God, I've never been more optimistic about America's future than today. Things are going to change no matter who's president in a big way. They're going to change much for the better or much worse.
Wow.
There's nothing beyond our capacity.
Oh, here's going to yell.
I mean, sincerely, think about it. There's nothing beyond America's capacity if we do it together. And that's what we're going to do. May God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you so much.
I don't even know where to unwrap that. Start unwrapping that thing.
That's obviously not, that's obviously not the
all of a sudden he's on I-95, then he's in the library. Man,
that's not the State of the Union cocktail he had this morning.
Wow, man, oh man.
He mixes it up now in these speeches. There's times where it's like, and then it's there's times where it's just yeah, exactly.
Wow, they must have had him shot up with some stuff for that. Last week's address, man.
Yeah. All right, it's time now to do some news with the host of Breaking Point, 8 a.m. right here, Saturday mornings on Real America's Voice. And that, of course, is David Zier. What's going on, Mr. Zier?
I don't think I played cut number 1 before Trump calling out Hillary on Haiti. We have that one.
Well, we talked about this before, right?
I just wanted to play it because
go ahead,
it's
Aaron.
a reminder.
And you take a look at the people of Haiti. I was at a little Haiti the other day in Florida, and I want to tell you, they hate the Clintons, because what's happened in Haiti with the Clinton Foundation is a disgrace. And you know it, and they know it, and everybody knows
Secretary
it.
Clinton.
Very quickly, we...
Yeah, I just want to point that out.
Just even hearing her makes me cringe.
Yeah, she looks like Dr. Evil in that dress, too. Charlie Kirk, was talking today about, he's not sure where to fall on this TikTok thing yet, because what does it do to prevent, the government from going after conservative social media or social media that, is tolerant of conservative point of views and stuff like that. And Thomas Massey made a pretty compelling argument on the floor. So I understand the CCP thing, but, I think we have to be really careful.
You want to see Sean? I thought Sean Davis made one of the good points about it as well. He said this TikTok bill language is so broad. I see. The thing is, I don't think anybody disagrees that TikTok should probably be banned, and it's obviously there's issues with it. It's just that this bill seemingly is such a mess the way it's put together. So he says this TikTok bill language is so broad and poorly drafted that'll absolutely be used to shut down media here in the U.S. that the U.S. government doesn't like, just like the Patriot Act was used to spy on innocent Americans who hadn't done anything wrong. Remember how the entire U.S. intelligence community moved to have the New York Post banned for reporting on Hunter Biden's laptop under the guise that it was all Russian disinformation? The U.S. intel community knew the laptop was legit and authentic, but they lied about it and did it anyways and used their lies as a pretext to ban media outlets they didn't like. Remember how the same corrupt intel community similarity fabricated and spread the Russian collusion hoax, and how its minions accused anyone who accurately reported on the hoax of being Russian stooges? The language in this TikTok bill would give those same crooks and liars the authority to shut down and criminally prosecute and penalize media outlets by merely accusing them of being subject to the direction, end quote, of an adversary. What does that even mean? How do you think a government which accuses anyone who criticizes its corruption or garbage foreign policy of being a traitor will use that language? Having lived through the Iraq War, WMD hoax, and the Russiagate hoax, and now the COVID natural origins hoax, and the January 6th hoax, and the myriad Ukraine hoaxes, do you think your government will judiciously use that kind of power and language as narrowly and as precise as possible? Or do you think it'll be used, that language, to persecute its domestic political opponents?
Yeah, I'll take that one. That's the one I'm going to vote for. Because it's exactly what it is. And Thomas Massey called this thing it's a massive Trojan horse for exactly what you talked about. It's because they don't have control. The CIA wants control. They lost control of X when Elon Musk bought it. Now they're struggling because the only thing they control is what? Facebook and YouTube, basically, and Instagram. And X is killing them. So what they want to do is try and shut down TikTok or take control of it. I know the owner of Rumble made a bid, right, to put together a group to take over TikTok. But that's all it is. It's they don't want the Chinese intelligence people to have it. The CIA wants to have it so they can control what's going on. And like you said, shut down anything they say. And again, the terminology used in this bill, because who makes that determination? Oh, well, the president will have the authority. Really? You want to give the president that much authority to shut down anybody he doesn't like what they're saying and end up like this dude over in it looks like Belgium? This guy was he was thrown in jail. Ghent Criminal Court determined that the former parliamentarian Dries van Langenhoven was infatuated by Nazi ideas and wanted to undermine society. So they decided, well, we don't like what you said, and he said it in a group chat, so they put the guy in jail. That's exactly where this leads. It's like you said, the Patriot Act on steroids, but for thought crimes.
All right, what else is going on, David?
Well, I have 3 more clips here. I can play 2 of them now. Maybe the one from James O'Keefe when we come back because it's 3 minutes. But these are quick. We have the America First warehouse event I did with the black pastors or pastors from the inner cities around America, saying there's a sea change coming in the vote for the whole community, not just the black vote. But I got here cut number 3 where he says they want to steal the election.
So the money that I got, one of the guys who is part of these organization, the second year when the crime dropped, instead of him re-upping our program, he didn't. He gave it to some of his frat brothers and sisters. And thus the crime went back up because the money wasn't being put into the black community. And so about 2 weeks ago, I saw him in the steam room, and he was talking about, man, we can't let Trump get in. And so I'm wondering, why? I said, he was the best president we ever had. Don't talk about Obama because he was the worst. And so he made a comment as if, well, if Trump gets back in, he gonna F up our money. He gonna F up the black community. And I got to thinking, the black community is already F'd up.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by that? Well, we might have to steal another election.
And really quick, we have cut number 2 about Chicago lobbyists.
But what I found out the other day that really broke my heart was I work out with a lot of the educated brothers and sisters that belong to the fraternities and sororities. And they have a lobbyist, and what they have really done is this. They have indoctrinated some of the state reps, state senators in Illinois. They've gotten in a bid with this governor. And this governor is doling money out to the black community. It is getting to the black community, but not the right black community.
Yeah.
And so we're talking about educated brothers and sisters who are now feel that they no longer are part of the black community. The brothers and sisters with the fraternities and sororities feel like they're elite. So what they're doing, now that they've indoctrinated some of the legislators are going, finding the money that should come to the west side, that should come to the south side of Chicago, but it's not making it there because these blacks who call themselves Greeks are taking the money, starving the black community, and now they're saying they're trying to create a whole new black community.
It just adds perspective on what's going on in these inner cities and maybe help people unwind it.
All right, a little more news with David Zier, Sports with Slick. Coming up, we'll wrap it up for a Wednesday right after this.
What?
That set looked like Good Times in the back. What was that, Joe's place?
That's his second stage, yeah.
He got that backdrop from a theater that closed down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's got a bunch of stage paintings that he uses as backgrounds.
Woody on Facebook says, let's go, Brandon. Alice says, thanks for another great show. Tracy says, I'm waiting for the day that Biden says, I talked to Abe Lincoln the other day.
Who just had lunch with George Washington. Shoot.
Well, that would be terrible.
Oof.
Though I would laugh. You see, Tyson's already putting out training videos of him training.
He's gonna win that fight.
He put one out today. It's day one, he said, of training. The fun has just begun.
Jake Paul is.
Was he 57?
Yeah.
People are bashing the contender, right? Because they're like,
look at this.
He looks like he's in good shape.
Dave. So I was talking to Pastor Lowry.
He looks good. Wow, a little roll there, but not bad.
If he's Jake Paul's got to be concerned with the first minute.
Well, it's supposedly it's an exhibition,
yeah,
because he will knock the crap out.
Pastor David Lowry trained, pro boxers, and he was saying that Tyson's in top shape right now.
It's an exhibition, though, so I don't know what that means.
Tyson also put out a video of him doing the heavy bag with no gloves on, and people are assuming, maybe Jake should take this a little more seriously.
Oh, boy.
You think? Okay, David, this is a question for you.
On Facebook.
Damon, this is a question for you.
Yeah. No.
Seeing what? Okay,
Oh,
cool. Good talk.
You got 15 seconds. Go.
Real quick. What if Mike Tyson walked into the
15 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. Your question to me is could Mike Tyson walk into a UFC ring? There's not a boxer alive that could walk into a UFC ring and last 30 seconds.
You don't think?
Not 30 seconds.
You don't think it would just take one?
He wouldn't have a chance to get one off. He'd be on the ground sleeping in 30 seconds.
He'd be on his sleep.
You don't watch UFC if you ask me that question.
I'm just, based on the video you just showed of Mike Tyson, I'm like, wow, if somebody swung and hit the guy that hard, if he caught him, if somebody thinks, oh, okay, I'm gonna try to size Mike up here, and all of a sudden,
I can't believe we're talking about Mike Tyson in 2024.
Not 30
I
seconds.
can't believe that.
I don't know.
Would any straight, just single boxer, only one thing, boxer, go into a UFC octagon and last 30 seconds? No chance.
I'd fight Uthman.
Not against any of them.
Uthman.
Sleeping. One kick, they'd be done. One kick to the legs, they'd be done. Done. Couldn't even handle one.
It's crazy.
I understand what you're saying, but everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
You don't watch enough UFC.
I'm just saying.
No chance.
What if it was Tyson in his prime?
No, still no chance. Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
No
Take
chance.
his legs right out from under him.
When you put all the disciplines in there, the jiu-jitsu, all the wrestling, the striking, everything, forget it.
I agree with
But
Big
if he comes out and runs straight to this guy and grabs him, you don't think there's going to be a problem?
He'd be sleeping.
I'm just saying.
He'd be sleeping
I'm
in 2
just
seconds.
He got karate chop.
All right, let's do. What are we doing here? Let's go.
James O'Keefe.
Yes, okay. David's
So
here.
I just want to get in, and so Rick has time for sports here. But James O'Keefe talked to a transgender Pentagon official. This is crazy. We have 3 minutes worth.
Nice.
Why not just have an open border? Yeah, tear down the wall.
Jason Beck, Associate Director, Total Force Requirements and Sourcing Policy, says the country needs open borders.
Just lots of that talk about border security.
Just hold it for 1 second. Are you telling me again that guy right there did not know that's James O'Keefe?
Yes.
You can't believe it. It gets worse.
It's very You know why? Because it's the honeypot scenario.
Go ahead.
This guy is thinking,
It's
he's
just throwing money in people at a problem that doesn't really exist. When has a terrorist ever come in?
I would like to do some work on the state's monopoly on violence.
State's monopoly? What is that?
It's the idea that the state, meaning the country, is the only sort of legitimate purveyor of violence and force of force. We're the only ones with guns, right?
Jason Beck, Associate Director, Total Force Requirements and Sourcing Policy from the Office of the Secretary of Defense, describes it as, quote, "We, the government, are the only ones with guns."
I think we should repeal it. And take them all away. Whatever, just take them all.
So what would be a federal solution?
But I wonder if you would see a similar solution to school integration.
Yeah.
Where they did have to mobilize the National Guard. How many people in the National Guard, maybe were personally opposed to integration, but still followed orders and made it happen?
Hopefully they would have to follow the orders.
Right.
I don't know how that's going to happen.
We need to pack the court.
Jason Beck says you have to pack the Supreme Court.
You have all the power.
That's not
solve the world issues.
Court reform.
This next part is hilarious.
So that they can stop the legislation.
He told us he writes the answers for high-level officials at congressional posture hearings. Oh, you actually write the answers for the congressional questions and stuff?
Yeah. When we're talking about posture hearings, it's usually very high level. Universal health care, we could start there. Abolishing the Senate. Gosh, there's so many things that you could do. I do have the classified stuff, but that I can't talk about.
Oh, you're turning me on already. That could either confirm or deny.
Made you dinner, some rose petals here. I'm a little bit of a romantic, so would you mind untying it for me?
Wow.
Told ya.
What's he doing there? Turn the other cheek.
Cheers. See you again.
Cheers.
So, you've heard of this guy, what's his name? James O'Keefe? Or James O'Keefe?
Yeah, I think so.
James
He was the one who, he would, go undercover and like try to trick Democrats into saying stuff. He's a terrible person.
He's a terrible person. Jason Beck, Associate Director, Total Force Requirements and Sourcing Policy, Office of the Secretary of Defense in the Pentagon, articulates his extreme policy views, including confiscating all guns, abolishing the Senate, tearing down the border wall, opening the border, removing the Electoral College, and establishing a state monopoly on violence.
Poof. Yeah, I mean, sounds like a basic today's leftist, right? I mean, he pretty much represents the majority.
And look where he operates.
Yeah.
Can't write it.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. If you don't think he is one of thousands that they've populated throughout the government, put them all over the place to do just that.
Yeah, West Point's getting rid of duty on a country, as per Maureen Bannon today. The slogan.
That is
unbelievable. All right, very good, David Zier. Let's do a little more sports before we wrap it up. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. Slick, what else is going on?
All right, quick update on the scores in NCAA Men's Division I basketball, the big tournaments, Big D, MEAC tournament. We got NC Central 44-42 over MD Eastern, 16 to go in the second half. At the half, Fairfield over Iona 34-31. Boston College leads Clemson 18-15, 10 to go there in the first. And every other game, they're kind of early. Cincinnati, Kansas, Georgia, and Missouri, and Kansas State earlier tonight defeated Texas 78-74. Oh, old Jerry. Defamation suit against Cowboys Jerry Jones tossed again. He must have some pull in the courts, Big D. ESPN, for the second time, a federal judge has tossed out defamation claims against Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones and several associates by a woman who says she is the billionaire's daughter. Federal Judge Robert W. Schroeder III on Wednesday dismissed the lawsuit by Alexandra Davis with prejudice, meaning the case cannot be filed again. Schroeder initially tossed the case last October, and Davis' attorneys refiled it in November. Davis, a 27-year-old congressional aide, originally sued Jones in March of 2022 to seek recognition as his biological daughter, a matter that is still pending. The separate defamation case filed last month named as defendants Jones, his longtime personal lawyer, Donald P. Jack, and Jim Wilkerson, a communications consultant for the Jones family. In his latest order, Schrader noted that statements made by the defendants about Davis were essentially true, citing messages that clearly show that plaintiff requested money from Jones in 2017, 18, 19, and 2021. So I think they're going to have to take that paternity test, Big D, and I think that will settle it once and for all. I mean, if Jerry has nothing to hide, just take the test, right? Why not? I don't see any downside to that. They could close it out right there.
Well, Rick, I'm too busy over at the strip club to be taking that test.
I don't know, but and Chief President says team could leave Kansas City after stadium tax vote. Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart. Chiefs fans are willing to lose body parts in sub-zero temperatures to cheer for their team, but whether they get to watch their beloved team in Kansas City anymore depends on how much they are willing to pay in taxes. There's going to be a big vote coming up whether or not they're going to redo the stadiums, and if not, Chiefs are going to be looking to move out. Man, I tell you, success always comes with some contempt. They won a Super Bowl, and now they're talking about moving. So I think it's gamesmanship, Big D. I think they'll stay. They'll find the money. That's a wrap in sports. Back to you.
All right, Slick, very good. Anything else in? Well, we don't really have time.
Well, you know what? I was going to throw this past Slick because it has to do with the Cowboys. Cowboys star Dak Prescott's brother.
Oh boy, yeah, Thad.
Taking a shot at the Cowboys front office. What do you think of that there,
I think charity starts at home. His brother needs to step up to the charity stripe, take less money. He's not a winning quarterback anyway. And come on, make that room in the cap so the Cowboys can get some players. That's what I think.
All right, as always, we salute our military, active and inactive, police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, everybody on the front lines, all our truckers, all our farmers. Great job, David Zier, Rick, Aaron, Fran. Great job as always. Most of all, thank you, the live from Studio 6B audience. We'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. right here live from Studio 6B.